Larian Studios just shared some major news, because they just confirmed Baldur's Gate 4 as well as DLC for Baldur's Gate 3 isn't coming. They will still, however, work on new patches, but for their next game it's something entirely different. So in this video we're going over what they shared about this, and if you want to stay up to date with more Baldur's Gate 3 news as well as their next game, feel free to subscribe. Okay, so at GDC, Swen Vincke, the head of the studio and director of Baldur's Gate 3, has shared they are not working on Baldur's Gate 4, won't do DLC for Baldur's Gate 3, and that their next game won't be based on D&D. Baldur's Gate 3 and its characters are now in the hands of Wizards of the Coast, the owner of the D&D IP, and instead Larian Studios will work on a new game. Let's take a look at what Swen said about this.
Baldur's Gate will always have a warm spot in our hearts. We'll forever be proud of it, but we're not going to continue it. We're not going to make new expansions, which everybody's expecting us to do. We're not going to make Baldur's Gate 4, which everybody's expecting us to do. We're going to move on. We're going to move away from D&D, and we're going to start making a new thing. I'm saying it here because I'm a forum, and we get bombarded by people that expect us to do these things, but that's not for us. It's going to be up to the Wizards of the Coast, because it's their IP, to find somebody to take over the torch. We did our job. And so for us, it's time to get a new puppy.
And as he said, it's time to get a new puppy. Making DLC or doing the same thing over isn't Larian. They're not your typical game studio, but Swen has shared more insight on this over on Twitter. Counter expectations, but I've never been more sure about a strategy shift. This is the right thing for Larian. I understand there will be disappointment, because people fell in love with what we created, but it was a story with a beginning, middle and an end, and it doesn't need more. The team has grown a lot during BG3, and I think you can be very excited for what growth means for our next game. As for BG3 and its characters, they now belong to Wizards of the Coast, and I think they understand how important they are for the community. I trust they will be treated with respect. And it's not easy for us to say goodbye to them, but we also knew from the get-go we have to one day. We learned a lot from creating them, and I'm very eager to see those lessons applied to new characters. Also, we're not done with updating Baldur's Gate 3. There's still a bunch new stuff coming, like mod support, extra cinematics for some endings, just not new content. And truth be told, although I love Baldur's Gate 3 and the D&D IP, I love this decision even more. Swen always knew what the right step was for the studio, and it's great to have new experiences as well. Nothing lasts forever, and eventually all good things come to an end, but it's the journey that counts. So I'm not sad that we won't get DLC for Baldur's Gate 3, because it was an incredible game from start to finish, and personally I'd rather have a new game sooner than later because of DLC. And also, to be frank, the D&D license also hold them back on their game, because Swen has shared the following in an interview with IGN. We had also spent a whole bunch of time converting the system into a video game, and we wanted to do new things. There are a lot of constraints on making D&D, and 5th edition is not an easy system to put in a video game. We had all these ideas of a new combat we wanted to try out, and they were not compatible. So yeah, that says enough, right? And if they make their own IP and system, they can change it to however they like it to be, instead of our pre-existing world and game systems holding them back. And many people now think they will return to Divinity Original Sin 3 with their next game, but this is not the case. Because while Swen confirmed a sequel is coming eventually, he also confirmed it won't be their next game. He said the following about it: "It will be different than what you think it is, but it's still familiar." Swen also said that every game they make will have a major step in increase for quality, and that they will bring it over to their next game. And for somewhere in the future, not their next game, but they will have an RPG so big that it will dwarf the scope of Baldur's Gate 3. But the tech isn't here for that yet. And last but not least, Swen spoke out against the game industry, the layoffs and the greed that publishers have nowadays. And I will just show you the clip, it will speak for itself.
So I thought Jason, our cinematic director, was going to pick up this award, so I didn't prepare anything. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing a talk tomorrow, so I didn't prepare anything for anything else. So I hope we're not winning anything anymore. Because otherwise it's going to be really painful. I was walking here and I said, you got to do something in case you win something, and I didn't have anything. And then the speeches here have been so good and basically stole all of my thunder of the things I wanted to talk about. So about stopping war and about stopping the greed, which has been fucking this thing up for so long, ever since I started, I've been fighting with publishers my entire life, so it's like, and I keep on seeing, I keep on seeing the same mistakes over and over and over, and it's always the quarterly profits. The only thing that matters is the numbers, and then you fire everybody, and then like next year you're going to see, shit, I'm out of developers, and you're going to start hiring people again, and then you do acquisitions, and then you put them in the same loop again, and it's just been broken and broken and broken. You don't have to. You just can make reserves, slow down a little bit, slow down on the greed, be resilient, take care of the people, don't lose the institutional knowledge that's been built up in all of those people that you lose every single time, so that you have to go through the same cycle over and over and over. Right? So, because it really pisses me off. Anyway.
Now let's hope that more publishers will follow Sven's example. And if not, luckily enough we always have Larian now, and I can't wait for the next game. Anyway, are you excited about their new game? Or did you rather have Baldur's Gate 4 instead? Do share it in the comments down below. And with that, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.